Hi. I promise it's not intentional. I try to be consistent, but as you might have noticed, content creation is not my full-time job. But I'm here, guys, and I'm very excited since the last time I've increased my feeder rating in a decent amount of points. We are on the road to WFM, we're closer. So today I have this game I played last week in an open tournament I was playing in Valencia. This was a classical tournament, time control 90 plus 30, and this game was against the first seed in the tournament. His name is Daniel Sanzwager, and he is a FIDE master, almost 2400 FIDE rated. He actually won the tournament that we played in, and this is the game that I played against him, so let's go and watch it. So I'm, as you might have known already, I was playing white pieces, and well, he was the first player, the top rated player in the tournament, so was a pretty hard game, actually, pretty hard to sustain. I think that I did pretty well, but you'll figure after how did it end. So I played d4, he played knight f6, I played c4, and he played a6. So in my preparation, I knew that he usually plays Bogo Indian or Nimzo Indian, or he also sometimes played the Indian attack with d5. So I prepared knight f3, inviting him to play Bogo Indian. I was prepared against it, but he just decided not to, and he came with d5, which is the Indian attack. So I continued with knight c3. I was also prepared against it, as I just mentioned, bishop g5, and then here I play h3 so he can't pin me, and he surprises me with knight e4. But guys, in the previous round I also played white pieces, and the girl I was playing against, she also played something similar to knight e4, just in a different moment, but the pawn structures are the same and the plans can be the same. So in the game that I played against this girl, I took the bishop. Thankfully I managed to check the game, even though I won, but I managed to check it in the previous night, and I saw kind of an improvement where I had to retreat. So I didn't know like deeply how should I proceed after retreating. I didn't know many plans, but I just knew that it was sort of an improvement to keep the bishops over the board. So this is what I did on this game. And then he played bishop e6, I came with bishop d3, and he plays with f5, so he fully protects his knight on e4, which I think is a very good plan for black. And here I decide to go with queen b3. So my thinking process behind queen b3 was just to attack the b7 pawn, and I thought like, okay, so I'm threatening b7, his defenses are queen, bishop, queen over here, but all of them, or b6, but all of them have like a negative side. For example, b6 creates break on a5 very quick, so I could have started to have like some ideas and some plans coming on in the queen side. Queen d7 restricts the knight to develop, queen c8 blocks the rook out, bishop c8 of course is a very ugly move to do. But he plays queen b6, which is the best move, and here I spend a lot of minutes thinking, debating on what to do and what not to do, guys, because here we have many things going on. It's not only about either trading or not to trade. It's many other aspects of what should we do. If we are trading, okay, we trade right now, and if we are not trading, do we leave the queen over there or we move the queen somewhere? So these are things that came through my mind, and I'm going to explain you briefly why I decided not to do some things. So for example, I decided not to take, because then when he retakes, even though my pawns are along right now, sooner than later my a2 pawn is going to be isolated. Like my only option to not to leave him isolated, for example, if I castle, he just takes me, and this pawn is going to be a weakness for the rest of the game. Let's say that I don't castle, that I move my knight. Well then, what's the point of having my pieces like this on an endgame? suddenly his bishops start to get like a higher activity than me, so I didn't really like this position. So this was my decision for not to take. If I was letting him take me, I couldn't do something like castling, because then he just takes, and of course this is equal, but the person that has the more like the facilities to create some trouble is black, of course, because I have the double pawns. So if we trade all the pieces, the one that is going to win is black, because my pawns are going to be like literally the weakest things over the board. So this is some prophylaxis I made. I also didn't want to do that. I could have protected my queen with my knight. I thought about this move too, but then he can just take me, I take, and kinda the same scenario can come up. It's of course equal, guys, but it was just not the most comfortable thing in the world. So then I got to the conclusion that I had to do queen c2, and it was the best move, so I'm happy with it. He played knight d7, I managed to castle, he came with the rook on e8, and I put my knight in the center, so we both have a very strong knight. The difference is that my knight can't be kicked out by anybody, and his knight can be kicked out by my pawn, which was my plan most of the game. So he goes back, and I play knight a4. Okay, knight a4 is not the best move in the position. My plan was to take his knight, and then to also take this, and then to come with my knight on c5. So there was going to be like a massive trade in the position. The problem is that I completely missed this sequence of moves which were pretty annoying. In this moment, I take the bishop, but I should have played f4. I also thought about it. As you can see, between this moment, I had 47 moves, and after I have like 14 minutes. Sorry, so I spent several minutes thinking, because I was considering f4, but again, psychologically, this is a stronger player. Creating holes on my king side is not fun. Against another person, probably I would have done it, but you know how some sort of an emotional, psychological things that happen when you face a higher rated player. Of course, something that is not good. I am not saying that you should do this. Never. You have to play chess. What's mandatory is what's going on over the board, but I'm just being honest on what happened for my mind. So I just decided to take, he took, and I came back with my knight, because my knight was already useless on a4. So he plays queen d7, my knight starts a little trip to the king side. He comes there, I come with my knight on f, and then he pushes and we trade. We trade everything. So here I play rook e1, because my plan is to push f3 and to kick the rook out of there. He retreats, and then I push my pawn, so I can plan to break over there. He moves his queen on h6, because I assume he noticed that the queen was not very useful anymore on h4, so he goes there, and I come queen d3. So guys, behind queen d3 there is a very tricky plan that I'm proud of the fact that I found it. So queen d3 seems like all what I'm trying to do is to support my pawn, but actually what I'm really doing is to plan to come to a3, because otherwise I would have come directly to a4. But why to come d3 and then to come a3? Here is the reason. He plays queen g6, I think perhaps supporting an h5 to play g4, but he doesn't have time, so I play now queen a3, threatening the a7 pawn. Of course, the most natural defense is a6. And then, now that my queen is on a3, if you want you can stop the video, there is a positional move that kinda solves all my problems and is everything thanks to the queen on a3. This move is e4. So e4, you might be wondering why, what does the queen has to do with that? It's because the queen is in contact with the rook. So in all scenarios, at least one of my rook is gonna finish alone or touching on f8, and the f8 square is going to be either attacked, a rook under attack, or it's going to be either like a weak square that I'm going to be able to get in. So this happened actually, but he didn't take because he didn't want to open the file for me. He pushed instead. Now he is threatening my pawn, so I moved to my queen pinning first, forcing him to do something like this, and then I push. So I push, my pawns are protected, and then I decide to push the other one, so we trade everything. And now that he lined up his rooks, queen f5 is an actual threat because my pawn can't be defended anymore, but thankfully it's my turn, so I go with rook e4 so I can move the other one right behind to e1. I do that, and then he plays h5. So by this moment, again, the psychological part was telling me, okay, he's starting to push, he wants to attack you, so don't let him attack you. And of course, his clearest plan is g4. How do I stop g4, guys? You can stop the video once again to try to find the move. Please do it. This is a very good training for you. So there are different ways to stop a person, like your opponent, from moving pieces. You can block his piece, you can overprotect this square, but you can also attack a piece that the piece that wants to move is protecting. In this case, this pawn is protecting this pawn, so if he wants to push, what I can do is to over attack this pawn. So my move was queen d4. So now if he pushed the pawn, I take this pawn with advantage. He couldn't push it, he pushed f3, but I had this under control since ages ago. I can just pin. And then we get into massive trades, and guys, we get into this endgame. By this moment, we both had around 5 and 6 minutes, as you can see on the board, on the screen. But this guy is almost 400 federated points higher than me. Don't look at the FIDE score that says on chess.com is a mistake by them. So yeah, I was like so scared to mess everything up. So by this moment, literally, I just had a brief inner conversation with myself, and I just said like, look, if you lose, it's okay. Like, you already made it successfully to this stage of the board. If you lose, you are going to learn something on the end game, and you are never going to let you have like do that mistake again. And that's how I just calmed down and started playing rationally. So I moved my rook across because I wanted to have my rook with flexibility. He started pushing his king. I was scared, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I had like the strong mindset, I was scared. I pushed my king, I did opposition, he did this, we trade pawns, and then I came here so he can't push, and anytime that he tried to push, I just took advantage of the opposition to attack. And then when he's here, I invite you to stop the video one more time. We can literally simplify the position with king g3, and he takes, I take, and then guys, this is totally equal. So I was so confident on my game, I just started playing faster. I flipped the clock, now you can see I have 1 minute more than he does, and then I started pushing my pawn. He checks me, I attack the rook, and then he goes back. And I was just planning to go back with my king, protecting my pawn, but he offered for a draw here. He offered, and I immediately accepted. And guys, this has been probably the best game I've played this year. I'm really proud of this game. I'm really proud of how did I handle it. As you can see down here, the game is 55 moves, and now it's time to see the accuracy. So guys, as you are seeing on screen, the accuracy is 96.8, please let's say it's 97 for me, and 97.2 for him. So this is a pretty good game. I am really happy with how did I handle it. And actually guys, my game rating performance is higher than his. It's 2600. So I'm really so proud of this game. Like, I'm usually so tough on myself, but I really don't see, well, besides the queen b3 probably, I don't see anything that I could have done differently on this game. Oh, and the knight a4 later in the game. But besides that, I'm really happy with how I handled it. I'm really happy with how I noticed all the things that my opponent could have done to make my life worse. And I just avoid everything. Like, I avoid all the difficulties that he could have eventually created, which is something that makes me really happy. So yeah guys, this has been so far my best result, my best game, my best performance, my best result again from the year. I'm really happy about it, and stay tuned because more recaps are coming soon. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and see you in the next video. Bye guys!